Greetings and salutations on a gray day, and welcome to Oxford, North Carolina. Let's see, and to the Scrap House project. Let's see, today's project, I'm going to try a DIY video that, based on a format of a guy who is now deceased, Mr. Grant Thompson from the King of Random, who does some spectacular DIY videos, or did some spectacular DIY videos. Anyway, this particular DIY video, or my attempt at it, is going to be to build that 3-stage filter for the biogas system that unfortunately is not yet producing biogas, or at least I don't think it is. So I'm not exactly sure why, but the processes inside are going fine, because I now do actually have some liquid fertilizer being expelled from the digester, which means it's good and full. And so every time I flush the toilet, I get this nice, lovely, at least it's producing something, liquid fertilizer. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of debris or anything in it, so the interior processes of the digester are working, clearly. So, but unfortunately, my bag doesn't appear to be filling up, and I'm not quite sure why, but we'll work all that out. I'm sure it'll get situated at some point in time or another. But anyway, for this particular project, for the 3-stage biogas filter, which will scrub the gas and take it from approximately 60% purity to 90% purity, I'm going to use 3 of these 2-inch PVC caps and some 2-inch inner diameter acrylic tube that I got from Piedmont Plastics, and it was kind of expensive. This is not a scrap project, this is a new materials project. And of course I'll need some of that vinyl hose and a bunch of tools. Tools, you really want to work this acrylic nicely down on the edges. You want to bevel the edges and make sure there are no points along the edges, so that when you're placing these 2-inch PVC caps inside, you don't get it broken, because acrylic does like to snap. So, and of course I'll need epoxy. I'll need my filler materials. The first stage for scrubbing is the steel wool. That's to get the sulfur dioxide, sulfur hydroxide. I think it's sulfur. I got to go back and reference the material again. Sulfur hydroxide. I think that's what it is. Anyway, so I'll need that, and I will need some other equipment like sanding tools. I'm using a cheap little Harbor Freight deal that my late brother bought when he was living in California. This guy, which works very nicely, particularly the wheel for grinding down the acrylic. And then, let's see what else. So, anyway, I've prepared the things with the 1/2-inch barbs, which is for the 1/2-inch vinyl tubing. So I've fastened all these barbs inside and placed them out using epoxy, a 2-part epoxy. And so I've got that set in there, and the whole setup is basically the way it's going to assemble together. And then I'm going to cut select lengths of the vinyl tubing to connect all these pieces together. So the first run is going to be through the steel wool, through distilled water, and then finally through silica gel, which I have not yet acquired. And I've thought long and hard about what to do for a mounting system, because I'd like to mount it on the outside wall of the scrap house here. And what I found is this 3-inch PVC works pristinely for a sleeve for the acrylic tube, and it fits very beautifully, nice inside. So we have a beautiful match. So I'll probably cut this down into three sort of, three mounts. And so anyway, when we get all that together, we will give you an update. And hopefully this will turn out to be a halfway decent DIY video. And of course at the end, let's see what else we're doing. Yesterday I spent a good amount of time doing some more jungle clearing. You can get a nice perspective on the jungle that grows out here every summer, at least in the sections where I don't have the weed cloth down. So I'm going to continue my progress doing land clearing as well as doing the filter project, and of course filling up compost. Everybody in the greenhouse looks very lovely, very happy. The kiwis are producing fresh shoots. We've got 2 seedlings sprouted here. And I don't know if there's a cabbage or the squash that I planted last week. We've got the cabbages here. And some more seedlings that I'm hoping are going to sprout here pretty soon. And unfortunately, my cucumbers, the only thing that I was really successful at so far this summer, died in a freeze last week. Anyway, so that all being said, it's really quite lovely out here. And here's the mess that has become overgrown for the second greenhouse, which I need to make good use of the first greenhouse before I start building the second one. So, that being said, here's hoping you have enjoyed your weekend, and more importantly, have another enjoyable weekend coming up. So for now, enjoy the peace of nature.